So there's definitely a difference between having balls in your pants and actually feeling like a man. You know, I felt once I moved out of my parents' house and I got my own place and I started making my own money, then I would feel like a man. Or I felt, well, you know what, actually, once I make 70K a year, or once I hit 225 on bench, that's when I'll actually feel like a real man. And none of that actually worked. Why? Because I kept moving the goalpost and I felt unsure of myself, unsure of the direction I wanted to go, and just, man, what I should actually do with my life. And when things didn't go my way, I emotionally overreacted. I lost my cool. I felt powerless, and it wasn't until I started living by these 5 rules. We'll call them the 5 rules of actually being a man. And the crazy thing is, unfortunately, no one ever teaches us these rules, right? It was hard learning these things, but once I got these things locked in one by one, that's when everything just started clicking for me. It's not easy.
Look, bro, I gotta ask you a hard question. Are you honest? I don't think any of us intentionally lie or are malicious with the lying that we do. Well, I mean, I know some of y'all actually lie, but I hope it's not y'all. But what I mean is, I think sometimes we do lie, but it's just unintentional, right? Maybe you had a confrontation with your girlfriend, right? She did something earlier in the day that really just fucking aggravated you, and later on when she asks, like, hey, are you good? And you go, yeah, I'm fine. But you know what she did aggravated you, right? Maybe it's you're lying to your friends, right? You're telling them how you've been grinding in the fucking gym, just putting in the work, but you haven't, which leads to the last thing. You've been lying to yourself. I used to do this shit all the time, dude. I would tell myself, oh, you know, you should be happy because, you know, there's other people that are out there that aren't even close to what you're doing, or they don't have a job that you have, or they're not making the money that you're making. And in actuality, it was just fucking bullshit, bro. I mean, yes, we should be grateful for the things that we do have, but I felt like I was hiding. I felt I wasn't being honest with myself. Man, there was a point in my life where I just got to the point where I would wake up in the morning and I'd go, you know, if tomorrow I didn't wake up, I'd be okay with that. And I would wake up to a job that I fucking hated, bro. And it was draining me of all my energy, of all my happiness, of all my time. And I just knew if I continued down this path, this one where if I was too afraid to approach women, I would go ahead and just end up lonely and single for the rest of my life. That's one of the things that's gonna bring me to rule number 1, right? Tell the truth even when it's easier to lie. You being a man actually begins when you go ahead, you start getting comfortable with yourself and you stop seeking outside validation, right? When we prioritize other people's feelings over our own, that's a surefire way to just be miserable with your life. You're literally putting other people's feelings and values over your own. We have to place truth above all else. And we have to do it even when it's not easy, even when it puts us in a bad spot, even when it's inconvenient. It's always important to tell the truth. Why? Because it forces you to level up. It forces you to take ownership of your life. I felt like a fucking, a phony, man. I felt like a fake. I felt like an imposer, or an imposer, a fucking imposter, when people would ask me things and I would just lie and say, yeah, you know, life is good, or yeah, things are good. And I was just so afraid of what other people would say or what they would think of me, rather than just let my own light shine. I would rather diminish my own light. That's fucking sad, bro. Instead of saying, you know what, dude, you're right. I suck with women. I need to get better. And because I suck with women, now every time we go out, I'm gonna hit on a new woman. Why? Because I know I need to put the reps in. I know I need to go ahead and start asking women out, being successful with getting their number, going ahead and going on a date, because I don't wanna end up alone and single for the rest of my fucking life. Ever since I accepted that truth, it's been a freeing feeling, bro. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not stressing over what people are gonna think about me, what they're saying, if they think I'm a fucking loser. Like, that shit doesn't matter. I've accepted that. I'm okay with that. So now, when my friends used to see me out and about and I was talking to women, they knew that I was getting the reps in, that eventually I'll end up meeting the person that I'm supposed to be with. And if it wasn't for me going ahead and putting the reps in then, I never would have got to where I'm at now. Let's say that I have a problem with another person. Instead of just walking on eggshells to avoid a conversation, now I've gotten to the point where I just address what's bothering me and we squash the beef right then and there. I mean, life is too short. Just talk about the problem and get over that shit, man. Complete. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're about self-improvement. And that's awesome, because that means you are ahead of everyone else, because no one else actually is interested in the whole self-improvement thing. You're all about improving yourself and just taking that next step to actually bettering your life. If you're still just only watching YouTube videos or you're listening to podcasts, well, here's the thing. You're playing it too safe. Maybe right now you're too overweight, or you're still struggling with the fear of rejection over women. I mean, man, I remember when I used to drive to a job that I fucking hated, and I would listen to Tony Robbins on the way into work, right? And it would completely fire me up for the day. It made me feel as if I could go ahead and tackle whatever challenges came my way. The actual challenge would arise and I would fold in the face of adversity. I would still sit here and tell myself, well, I'm still better than, you know, everybody else that's my age, or there's still people that aren't making as enough money as me, or at least I have a job, or trying with women. But here's the thing. I told myself I felt better than them, but in actuality, we were doing the same shit. I would wake up, go to a job, go home, go to the gym, and the cycle would just repeat over and over and over again. It wasn't until I got around a group of guys that would go ahead and just keep shit real with me. They would tell me face to face, hey bro, you fucking up. Hey bro, you're not being true to what you fucking said you were doing. The right people will hold you accountable, right? Sure, I know there's gonna be people that say, well, what about friends and family? Well, old friends and family won't keep it real to you. They'll just tell you things like, oh, well, You tried. Come on, man. It's not your fault. Fuck that bitch. It's that bitch's fault. You did nothing wrong. They let you slide because they put your feelings over your future. You need people that genuinely give a fuck about you. People that are gonna go ahead and hold you accountable. Because I had that group of people in my life, there was never gonna be a chance for me to fucking simp. For a woman to go ahead and break my boundaries. For me to go back on my word. Because that group of dudes was going to go ahead and hold me accountable. I was no longer able to accept mediocrity in my own life. And that was in relationships, that was financially, that was spiritually. And even if I could lie to myself, I couldn't lie to them. They knew. And they would hold me accountable. I am beyond grateful that I had a group of guys like that in my life that went ahead and kept me on my shit, that were also trying to grow, that were also becoming better versions of themselves. And if you don't have anybody like that in your life, I want to help you out this week. See, I've never, ever made this kind of promotion before. I've got 5 open spots starting June 13th. So not this week, but next week. Again, I usually don't make posts like this, but my mission this year is really simple. I want to transform 20 lives through mindset and fitness. I'm halfway there, and now I need 5 more people. Finish strong with me. Are you in? The link is in the description. Check it out. I feel like, and man, I know it's 2025 and most of us can't agree on shit, but I feel like most men can agree upon this. When it comes to women, we always act like a fucking G, right? We always know what to do. We always know what to say. We would never let a woman cross our boundaries. But for the right woman, right? We became simps. I'm no exception. I did it once in my life too, man. Let me tell you a story. So I met this chick on a dating app, right? Things were going good. Got her number. Was able to go out on the date. Did everything right? Like, you know, you know how we act. We act like a fucking G. I said, man, she's got to fucking prove herself to me. The whole night, I mean, that's exactly what she did. She proved herself. She showed me why I should continue going out with her and hanging out with her. And, you know, I did all the right things during the date, bro. Get to the end of the date, you know, I'll walk her back to her crib. She said, you know, hey, you know, I had such a fun time tonight. And I was like, yeah, you know, I had fun too. And, you know, we ended up making out right there. Mission success. But at the end of the date, I go home and I fucking shoot her a text talking about, hey, you know, trying to set up the next date. She fucking ghosts me, bro. So she doesn't say anything back the next day. So, of course, you know, I do a follow-up text. And I'm sitting here wondering, well, why does she fucking ghost me, dude? That brings me to rule number 3, is you have to learn when to walk away and mean it. And this isn't just for relationships, right? This could be in just personal relationships with people. Say somebody doesn't respect your boundaries, or say, you know, somebody just disrespects you in a way that you can't forgive them. You have to be willing to walk away and mean it. You don't need to argue with them. You don't need to sit there and just go back and forth. There was this one, you know, after I learned my lesson, I met this chick a couple years ago on a dating app. Man, it was easy, it was effortless, it was fun. First date, hang out, have fun, started hooking up immediately. For a while, I mean, it was, like I just said, it was fun. But about 2 months in, she started just acting fucking weird, man. She would just start blaming me for shit that didn't involve me at all. And then she would start hitting me up at like 2 o'clock in the morning asking to hang out, or she would just randomly start flaking on me, and I had to tell her, man, I just, hey, you know, it's been real, it's been fun. You know, most of this has been real fun, but I I can't do this with you anymore. I gotta let you go. And it was crazy. I've I've never seen a woman beg like this before, man. She was hitting me up nonstop. I mean, honestly, I ended up having to block her, bro. It was insane, and it was hard. Fuck. I mean, the what was in between my legs definitely didn't want to stop, but just got to the point where she was disrespecting my boundaries, and I couldn't deal with it anymore, man. And it was hard setting those boundaries, but ultimately it ended up leading me to exactly who I needed to end up being with. I used to think of this like how we do things at the gym, right? We go into the gym and we work out, and when we're in the gym and we're working out, maybe we don't have the muscles that we have today or that we want today, but we know we're going to have those muscles a year from now. And that's no different in life, man. We wouldn't I mean, yeah, when you work out, obviously you do get a pump, but you're not literally seeing your muscles grow bigger and bigger while you're working out. I mean, you understand that it takes time. And just like it takes time to build muscle, it takes time building great things. And I honestly believe a lot of men, they get stuck in acting like children when it comes to that instant gratification thing, right? Where we want it right then and now. And it's just it's just not how fucking life works, man. You you have to go through the reps. You have to learn the things that you need to learn. You have to go through the lessons that you need to go through. And because a lot of guys will go ahead and avoid anything that's not instant, they they lose out on such a valuable lesson. And it is about investing in your future self, and that's the fourth. Honestly, bro, there was a time where I was in that instant gratification phase, man. I started my business back in 2021, and I wanted everything to fucking start working within that first year. And if if no one's ever told you, if you're starting a business, it's going to take twice as long and cost twice as much as what you think it's going to. I had to I had to learn that. I mean, someone told me it before and I believed, but man, it definitely does take twice as long and cost twice as much. And there's going to be a long period of time where you're not making money, and you're going to spend your net worth on making this thing work. But that's the thing about investing in your future self is you have to go ahead and continue to have that faith even when you're not seeing the tangible things right in front of you. And it's hard. I mean, it's going to feel like you're getting kicked in the nuts for a period of time. I mean, it took me 4 years, bro. 4 years before I started becoming profitable in my business. Most people would have fucking folded. Most people would have gave up, would have went back to a job that they hated. But I decided to stick with it, man. Fortunately, I had money saved up. I had a job. I was still in the military at the time, and the thing I thought was, okay, well, what's the absolute worst that can happen is I absolutely tank the business and I go back to work. Like my worst fear is most people's everyday lives. And I don't know, something about that just gave me a little bit more confidence to go ahead and just keep taking educated risks, man. And you have to have faith. And if you don't, you're going to end up in the same exact spot where you are like right now. And that's the thing, dude. It could be, you're going to be stuck in that spot for another year, 5 years, another 10 years, another 20 years, all because you didn't want to invest in your future self. I don't know about you, dude. That's a scary, scary fucking thing. You have to be willing to accept that it takes time to build something great. I've been waiting to do that. Nice. Another fact of life is filled with suffering. There's not one path you can take that doesn't lead to any sort of suffering. See, most guys will suffer on the path of least resistance. Jobs they hate, investing in things that bring no meaning to them, and relationships where there's constant tension. Let's say like me earlier, right? Even if you start a business, there will also be suffering in that. There have been months, fucking years of hard work, of late nights, of me not getting the compensation off the value I give right then and there. It's painful, dude. It's honestly painful. But when you decide to fix your life, and that could be, as we were talking about earlier with dating, that could be in your finances, that could be in your career path, you're gonna have to go ahead and accept that now this is your new standard. These boundaries that you have set, nothing can go past that. And you're going to be tested time and time again to see if indeed you are congruent with your word. This brings me to rule number 5. We all pick our sufferings knowingly. You got to change your perspective, right? Don't ask yourself, well, what's the easiest thing I could do? Start asking yourself, what path can I take that is going to lead me to the most amount of suffering? And not in the sense of you're a fucking masochist or anything, but at the end of these harder paths, we know that the reward is sweeter. Your dream life, all the things that you told yourself that you would have when you were a kid, or the life that you envision your future self, your 2.0 version of yourself will have. To get there, you're going to have to go through suffering. You're going to have to change who you are, or you're going to have to become a version of yourself that isn't this version right now. You're going to lose family. You're going to lose friends along the way. People are going to tell you changed. And you know what? You have, but for the better. A lot of people they hate because they know they're not doing anything with their lives. And they see you taking action. They see you willing to take a risk to better yourself.
Most people, again, sit on the sidelines and wonder what if. We, since you're watching this video, we understand. I would rather, and if you don't take anything away from this video, take this one rule. In life, when it comes to going for big things, you either get the thing that you're going for, or you have an epic story. And if no one's told you this, let me be the first to go ahead and enlighten you. None of us are making out of life alive. We keep acting like we're not going to fucking die one day. So since none of us are making out of this alive, what's stopping you from taking action on the things that you actually want to do in life? No one is going to do it for you but you, bro. I would pass this off to you, but unfortunately, technology is not to the point where I can do this virtually yet. I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace. Oh, and thanks for watching. You thought I was going to forget.